We meet again at last. The circle is now complete.
What's the world coming to?
Well, you got a problem with what I did, Anthony?
No. Hey, no.
Fucking rat anyways. Whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
Stupid bastard. I can't fucking believe it.
Gee, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky.
Now you're gonna dig the fucking thing. You're gonna dig the hole. You're gonna do it. I got no fucking line. You're gonna do it.
Yes, I'll take the fucking hole. I don't give a fuck.
I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was pure and simply evil.
Jesus Christ. Mister, you okay in there?
Put some vintage copies around here someplace.
Have you any idea what the cost of your actions is? What their effects might be? Or are you to give them hope? What do you give them? We give them happiness. And they give us authority. Groovy.
What's going on, friends? Logan Myers here for Cinephellas.com. I'm in the Cinephellas studios tonight doing episode 26 of the Cinephellas Podcast. That's a lot of plugging for Cinephellas. It has been cold as shit here in the Chicagoland area. We just survived the polar vortex last week. It was actually colder here than in Antarctica, Siberia, and all those other cold continents. It was negative 30 here, so there's a few days that we did not leave the house. So it's been a minute since we've done the Cinephellas Podcast. I said in episode 25, which was 3 or 4 months ago, I said we'd be doing this on a more normal basis. But, a lot of stuff happens. October, November was pretty scary here for myself and my family. A lot of personal stuff and family deaths going on, so had to push that to the back burner. But we're now in February 2019, very excited about this year, 2019. We have a lot of stuff going on. My colleague here and fellow cinefellow himself, Henry Hill, just moved, has a nice little studio set up at his house, so hopefully we're going to be doing a weekly kind of video podcast for you guys, talking about movies, TV shows, news and reviews, everything in the entertainment business. So really looking forward to that. We're still trying to get our website done and do some new videos and graphics and things like that. And we're working on restructuring the website, getting some new video content up on our YouTube channel. A bunch of stuff with our graphic designer, Josh Howard. The Darkness. Ow!
Now, Darkness, the tables are turned.
Our buddy out in Seattle doing our graphic design work and working on the website, so really looking forward to this year and a new image for Cinephellas and a new website. So lots of great stuff going on. And if you're asking yourself, what are Cinephellas? Well, Cinephellas was an idea we started about 3 or 4 years ago, Henry and I. Just an outlet, a platform for us to talk about movies and TV shows, movie news, TV news, everything that's happening in the entertainment business. Henry and I always loved the entertainment business, always checking out new trailers, talking about casting news, people, directors, producers, people being involved in the entertainment business, whatever medium that is, TV shows and movies. And, that has really evolved over the past 3 or 4 years, starting with, a generic YouTube channel. We got a bunch of writers now, people that write for the website. It's really evolved. I'm really excited for the future, and we just wanted to thank everybody that's followed us on this journey. If you haven't already, head on over to Cinephellas.com. Yes, I'm going to plug the website right now. We got a bunch of new reviews. I just reviewed the Velvet Buzzsaw movie. Dan Gilroy, the director of Nightcrawler from 2014. Now, this time around, he's doing something completely different, kind of like an art house horror flick with Jake Gyllenhaal and Rene Russo. and it's actually really fantastic. It's streaming on Netflix right now. Go check it out on Netflix, add it to your queue, and then come back and check out my review. Besides that, we got the review for Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes that was released on Netflix as well. For all you true crime fans out there, it's actually a really good 4-part series. They're an hour apiece. It's 4 hours total. Looking into Ted Bundy and his recordings from death row, talking about all the murders and things like that. It's really fantastic series if you're into true crime and Ted Bundy and serial killers. If you've been living in a plastic bubble the past few years, you probably have not heard of the Fire Festival, but it's a big controversy. It was a big disappointment. It was a mess. There's a few documentaries out there on Hulu and Netflix. We got a review of that by our good writer and friend here, Armando Venegas. He reviewed both of those documentaries on Netflix and Hulu, so come check that out on our website. I have another review for one of the best films of 2018, written by Joel Edgerton. I'm talking about Boy Erased, starring Lucas Hedges, and a bunch of other content that we have. We update our social media pages on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, not as much, but Facebook and Twitter, more importantly, movie news and reviews, TV news and reviews every day. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, definitely go over and check us out on our social media outlets, like our pages, follow us. So tonight I had the pleasure of talking to Diane Franklin, actress. She needs no introduction. If you guys have been following films from back, in the 80s, she was a big deal back then. She played Monique in Better Off Dead with John Cusack. She was in Amityville 2, The Possession in 1982. The Last American Virgin, she played Karen, which is a really great flick in the same year, 1982. And she's back in the entertainment business. She's promoting her brand new film, The Amityville Murders, focusing on the DeFeo family before the whole incident with the Amityville Horror, that happened in the movie was released in 1979, and this movie takes place before then with the DeFeo family. Essentially, if you guys follow horror movies in the Amityville Horror, Ronnie DeFeo Jr., otherwise known as Butch DeFeo, brutally killed his family. He went to each room and basically took a shotgun and killed them. They're all face down. He had brothers and sisters and his parents, and when he was taken in and arrested, he claims that the voices he heard told him to do this. So it's a big controversy back then. This actually took place. We've seen a lot of different films in the Amityville Horror franchise, a few good and a lot bad, but this time around we're seeing the prequel story, this setup to the Amityville Horror, with focusing on the DeFeo family and what exactly happened and what led Butch DeFeo to kill his family. But tonight I get to interview and talk to the wonderful Diane Franklin. Been a huge fan. We had a very interesting conversation. She's a real delight to talk to. I had an absolute good time talking to her about Chicago, the weather lately. Her son goes to college here, talking about this movie, Amityville Murders, and talking about her upcoming projects. So it's my pleasure to introduce my conversation with the great Diane Franklin.
Hey, Logan, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. Trying to stay warm here in Chicago. Besides that, can't complain.
My son is in Chicago. Okay, what's the deal? How cold is it in Chicago?
-30. Wind chill, -50. It's brutal. I haven't been outside all day.
Oh, my God. -30, -50 wind chill? My son goes to DePaul,
yeah.
so...
Oh, geez. I know.
I heard that it is... Right? Oh, my gosh. I heard that it's so cold that Lake Michigan has steam coming up from it. I don't even understand this.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. That's crazy.
What is going on?
It's the apocalypse. It's the end of the world. It seems like.
Well, I know. Oh my God! When you look outside, like, is anybody outside?
No, I haven't seen anybody outside all day. Everybody stayed home and did not leave.
That's amazing. That's so. Is it snowy?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, it's not snowing. It's just really cold.
It's not snowing, so it's just bitter cold. That's not fun. You want snow if you're going to have a cold. Dang. All right.
Right.
Thank you for sharing this with me, because I feel like I'm with my son right now. Like, this is what it's like. He's 19. Oh, no, he's 20, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, anyways, it's an honor to talk to you today. We're a huge fan of your work. We love Better Off Dead, Amityville, Bill and Ted. The list goes on. So first of all, how did you get? Yes.
How did I get? I'm sorry.
First of all, how did you get involved with the Amityville Murders?
Okay, this is a lovely story. Well, the first thing that happened was lovely Quentin Tarantino. He is a big fan of Amityville 2, and he played Amityville 2, The Possession, at his theater, which was, I think, the Beverly. Oh my gosh, Beverly Cinema. I think Beverly Cinema. Anyway, he double checked that, but he played it there. And I came in to do a Q&A. And in fact, I'm thinking now, I wonder if I even said, hey, you're playing the movie, would you like me to do a Q&A? But anyway, I wound up showing up. And then when I showed up, Daniel Ferens, who is the director, he went to the screening as well. And I think that's where he got the idea, wouldn't it be cool for me to play the mother? Meantime, I have no idea about this. So, months go by, and my convention agent is friends with Daniel on Facebook and said, his name is Scott Ray, and he said, Diane, you have to call this director. He's doing an Amityville, and he wants to talk to you. I'm sure he wants to talk to you. And I'm like, I don't know this director. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, no, you have to call him. And I completely called him blind. And I said, hey, Daniel Franz, my name is Diane Franklin. I don't know if you know me. I was in the second Amityville. And he said, yes, I do. And I actually wrote a film, and I would like you to play Louise DeFeo, the mother, in this film. And I burst into tears. I literally flipped out. I was like, what? Because I've always wanted to play someone who is a real person. And I couldn't believe, to play such a beautiful, an adult, like this mother, the matriarch of this family, was I was blown away, such a gift. And, I just said, yes, please, yes. So, I really didn't trust it until we wound up, they had auditions, not auditions, but I had to audition, because, the producer didn't know if I could do it. They still need to see if you can do it, and I thought, oh my gosh, originally in the script it said a big Italian mama, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I am not like this. How am I going to do this? And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it my all. That's all. Maybe all I have is this audition. Maybe that's it. So let's just make believe this is the movie, and I'm going to do it. And I did 2 scenes, and they applauded afterwards. Daniel burst into tears himself, hugged me, and said, oh my gosh, you are my Louise. You are my Louise. I was crying. It was the best audition I've done in my entire life. It was crazy. So
wow, really?
I was honored and happy. And I really had to audition. And in fact, I left there and I went to my car and my hands were shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, don't get your hopes up, because in the room, I've never been cast in a room. You got the part. They said to me in the room. And afterwards I thought, I don't know if I should believe them. It's almost like you can't believe people until you're finished with the job. You just, you got to do it. And that was what was amazing. Do I, I don't know if I can even believe this. And, days passed and we're like, okay, that's it. You're the one. And I was the second one cast. I think the first one was, John Robinson. And he's wonderful. And it was just amazingly exciting. So all I can say is that after years of being an actress and working in the 80s, what a wonderful return to cinema with this film. I gotta say, return to acting with this is a dream.
Yeah, this movie was phenomenal. We had a really great time with it. It was terrifying. Your performance was amazing. Did you have any challenges playing Luis DeFeo? Did you come across any challenges playing this character?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. What was really hard was that I would go to work and I would get myself all emotionally connected and in the head of this character, and then I'd have to go home and let it go. Because what's interesting is usually when you get a film, you're on location. At least with me, I've always been like on location, go somewhere, and you can stay in the character and you can just sort of allow it, live it. But because I was near home, I'd have to go home and I'd have to do mundane household things and get my house, ready or to make sure I get my sleep. And it was trickier to stay in character. Or at least I have to say this, I had to be, the training that I got, between when I was a young actress and now really helped me because it allowed me to figure out how to get back to where my focus needed to be. So that was one of the things, going in and out to a certain extent. And then I think this character was so vulnerable. And I allowed the energy and the feeling of the film to get inside me so that this film was scarier to shoot than when I did Amityville 2, when I played in the possession. When I played the daughter, I had to stay innocent. That feeling when you're working, just, just pure and innocent, not let anything get, bad energy get in. And this film, I had to let it in to play the mother. And wow, it was different. And I had to really just, I have to say bad energy and spookiness is all about, you either connect with it and you feel it. Some people, I believe, feel it more than others, and you have to allow that.
Yeah.
So it was interesting playing this role. It was creepier.
Yeah, it's definitely a really great performance. With that being said, what was it like working with John Robinson? What was it like working with John Robinson playing the Butch DeFeo character?
Thank you for asking. Nobody asked me how it was working with the other actors. And wow, okay, John was a sweetheart, and we so connected. He felt like my son. I was hugging him, and just we just really connected. And he was very open to act with, and very delicate and subtle, but nice. Just a very lovely actor to work with. Just good instinct. And I felt like he was also very sensitive about his role. He played it. It was interesting. With Jack Magner, when he played the role, he sort of isolated more. But John, although he did isolate a little bit, but not from me. He knew, he came in and out of his character, but knew how to hold it. And it was interesting. We had a great time, and he was wonderful, a lovely actor. And then Chelsea, who played my daughter, that was so wonderful because I get to see her do a beautiful job. She makes me cry at the end of the film. When I watch the film myself, I start to cry because, oh my gosh, my daughter, right? And I have a daughter, so I connected to that. And the other aspect of it was that she does these scenes, which I remember doing. She's on the steps. And I remember being on the steps and, the brothers trying to kill me, and she has the same experience. So it was great working with her as well. All the actors, Noah Brenner was wonderful, and Zane Austen, the kids were just great. And, the little boy Q, was so smart, so wonderful. So we had a great family. It was really great.
Yeah, it was a really great cast. For sure. With
good
John
chemistry.
Robinson playing Butch. Yeah, he was terrifying in this role too, playing that. So it was definitely sold me on that performance.
Good. That's great. I think it was really, when you watch it, I just want to say it feels that it's all about relationships in this film. It's relationships and the relationship dynamics, and I think that keeps you riveted.
Yeah, I totally agree. Being in two films, Amityville films, do you think the actual house is haunted, the real Amityville house? I don't know if you ever get out to
Oh,
that.
I absolutely do. Absolutely. In fact, other people have died in that house since. I mean, it was 1974, then the Lutzes left. I heard, I think 2 more people died in that house. When you say haunted, to me, it's like you go, I don't know how you are, but when I go into a place, I can feel the energy. And if it doesn't have a good energy, don't stay there. I mean, the Lutzes leaving, I totally buy that, and I believe some people are more connected to it than others. So, some people are not going to feel it at all because they're just not, right? So I do believe it. And but the thing is, I've never gone to the Amityville house, and I would love to go there. Because I have a very good energy, and I think that I would do very well in that house, even if it's haunted, I mean, if it's being haunted when I'm in there, I think I would do well in that house.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to go there. We're big into paranormal and stuff like that. I always wondered if one of the ghost shows would go to the Amityville house and do an investigation. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I want ghost adventures. I want them to take me. Take me. Let's go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt, but Logan, if you have a last question, now would be a perfect time for it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Diane, the last question I have, do you have any upcoming projects that we should be on the lookout for?
Yes, thank you for asking. My daughter is a filmmaker. Her name is Olivia De Laurentiis, and if you're interested in finding out about her, go to Barely Legal Comedy. Don't forget comedy on YouTube. But she is actually, I just got a film option. I know, thank you, right? Comedy. She wrote a dark comedy. And a comedy. I am going to be in it, and she is going to be in it as well, and directing the film. And the film is called This Gets Rough, and she's shooting it this year. And the princess from Bill and Ted's is now a producer. The other girl, Kimberly Kate, and wonderfully, she loves my daughter's work, and she optioned my daughter's film right when she got out of college immediately. And she said, she's seen my daughter's comedy, and she's going to be producing it. So we are very excited. So you will be seeing, certainly my daughter and I doing a film together, which I am beyond thrilled to do.
Wow, that's really exciting. I can't wait for check out that project.
Thank you. So it's This Gets Rough, written and directed by Olivia De Laurentiis.
Awesome. Thank you. You know what, Diane? It was a great conversation. Thanks for getting interviewed. For Cinephellas.com, we'll get this interview posted. Again, we love the Amityville Murders, and hopefully you have a good rest of your day.
Great. Thank you, and send me the link. I'd love to share it with my fans.
Yeah, we're following you on Twitter. I'll send it over, okay?
Great. Thank you.
So that was my conversation with Diane Franklin. She was such a delight to talk to interview, really pick her mind. This movie, Amityville Murders, and what it meant to her and how she went about this role. And, talking about her upcoming projects that we should be on the lookout for. We're going to be interviewing more actors, actresses, producers, directors, people in the film and entertainment industry coming up here right on our YouTube channel. We're going to be at the C2E2 convention at McCormick Place in Chicago at the end of March. So hopefully you guys can make it out to that comic and entertainment convention. This year they're going to be having the Clueless reunion. Let's see, Silverstone. Paul Rudd's going to be there. Yes, Paul Rudd! Really excited for that. Donald Faison and Breckin Meyer. What more could you want in a beautiful city? So we'll be there at the end of March, and hopefully you guys will be there too. We can meet up and talk movies and TV shows. Also, that weekend is the Star Wars celebration. Star Wars needs no introduction. It's not going to be in California this year, which is a huge deal for Chicago, having this convention. So we'll be stopping by, doing some press stuff, and capturing all the galaxy far, far away. So we're really looking forward to that and be doing some more conventions this year. A lot of projects in the works. Hopefully doing more podcasts for you guys here with Henry and myself, talking about everything movie, TV, news, and reviews. So I want to thank you all for listening to episode 26 of the Cinephellas Podcast. I've had a great time doing this. This is Logan Myers signing out from Cinephellas Studios. Until next time, cheers!